Hello, welcome to Tinfoil Hat News. This video is not for kids as it is news. There is no cussing or cursing. Today, red flag bills are going through the Senate right now, and ones are talking about the boyfriend loophole. Now, Guns and Gadgets did capture the boyfriend loophole, and that was basically a domestic violence situation, which was a misdemeanor. I'm against domestic violence and people and stuff like that, and if it's been proven in court that they've actually have committed domestic violence, that is one thing. However, with the amount of restraining orders put on people, especially going through divorces, it is a very serious situation where people are going to have their guns taken away. So if they're trying to do it at a federal level, trying to make Massachusetts, I have a suggestion. Since they're putting the vague term of what boyfriend is, and they can make up all sorts of stuff and do a whole red flag law on anyone in the country, including social media, then let's use our power to red flag the Democrats, their families, and the Democrat politicians' security. If we can get these Democrat politicians' security people red flagged, we can finally make it to where they're not safe. So help me red flag these guys using their own rules. We need to do this now. We need to red flag their staff, starting with AOC, with all that. And the way we can do it is by getting restraining orders or temporary restraining orders on individuals that are security to these politicians, to include Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and all of them. Once we get enough red flag laws against these politicians that are Democrat, they'll rethink the red flag law, because we, the American people, are not going to give up our security. And because they're making these laws, let's make it to where they lose their security. If they're not going to be nice and listen to what we have to say, then let's make this happen. And because they won't listen to what we say, it's time we turn the tables on these people. Not only do we have to get the politicians with temporary restraining orders so they can have a red flag law put in place, but if we can get their staff and their security members to get these same sort of restraining orders, we can take away their security. I don't think the Democrats fully understand the incomprehensible actions of it. But I will say this. Tinfoilers, we're smart. We're intelligent and stuff like that. If we can get people to, file a restraining order on security for Democrats and Democrat politicians and just do it massively, they may reconsider the red flag laws. And let's do it. Because what's best than disarming the Democrats by taking away their security? They're open for attack. They know what we feel like. They will finally have nothing to keep them safe if we disarm their security. So help me by finding out what we can to get their security disarmed through their laws. This would be perfect to end the red flag law bill. Why? Because we can take away their due process. This must happen, and we can make it happen if we do this the right way. I'm saying let's go ahead and file as many restraining orders against these Democrat politicians and their security so they have no guns. And when they have no guns and they have no security, they will truly know what it's like to defund the police and be victims, because they decide to take away our right to defend ourselves. So let's do it. Let's get together. Let's make this happen. Why? Because they need to know what it's like. So, tinfoiler hat, be smart, don't commit a crime, but we can encourage other people that, hey, let's see what happens if we get a restraining order on these guys. Once we get a restraining order, we could do it to Jimmy Kimmel and his family, Hollywood celebrities and their families, and let's take away their guns. Let's take away their security. Take away the guns from their security. Let's make it happen. Let's disarm the extreme left. Let's do it to George Soros and Klaus Schwab. Why? because they need the restraining orders. And if we do this to them, we'll be making the red flag law hurt really painfully. We can do this as a group of people. I'm not here to sit there and say anything violent. I'm just saying let's go ahead and let's use restraining orders and the red flag laws in our best interest. Because now they won't have a due process. And they'll take the guns and then they'll have to sit there and prove in a court that they're not a threat to people. And we do it enough to where they're harassed, they'll have to rethink the red flag laws. So help me do this. And if they're going to make laws to where they list gun owners, let's go to the celebrities' homes. Those leftist celebrities who are against guns. Why? The more they're uncomfortable and feel unsafe, the more they understand that maybe taking away the common citizen's gun rights are bad because they don't understand the repercussions. So, if you're smart and intelligent, let's get the security's information. Let's make their lives a living nightmare. Let's take away their security's guns. So when a criminal who's not following the law starts shooting at them, they finally know what it's like. With that all I'm dead and say, that's all I got to say. I don't know about people calling up their local politicians. You could call your senators and try to get the start, but you're going to have to really try hard. Some people are very... so there's some rhinos there, some major issues. And if not, contact your attorney general if you're living in a red state, and contact your state governor to say, hey, we're not going for this, so they can do something about these senators that sided with the Democrats. Because we can finally make some changes that will actually work. Like I said, never engage in a crime, never do any violence. With the red flag laws, let's use them to our benefit. Let's use them against Democrats and their children and liberal arts professors from colleges. Let's go after them. Let's go after Democrats who politicians' security, and the Democrat politicians. Let's get them on the red flag laws, right? So they have no gun. If we don't have one, they don't have one. We have no security. They will not have security themselves, because we deserve to have security and freedom and a way to protect ourselves. So, like, share, subscribe. Go out there, do good. Don't do violence. Be peaceful. And, let's get these restraining orders filed against Democrat politicians, their security, and their families. Once those are done, they can't own a gun. And they will finally know what it's like to get robbed. It will be funny. It will be hilarious. And they'll have to rethink these laws. Anyway, have a good day and have a great one.